chills. I'm getting goosebumps. Especially like me, where I was in a relationship with a man, realizing that I was gay. It's explicit, but it's changing the game. Hello, they had a baby, and if you haven't watched it, what are you doing with your life? Do I want to be with her? Do I want to be her? I want to be her. Someday. Like I said, climbing is gay.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and another special guest hosted episode of Pleasure Trove. I have with me the wonderful Alayna Joy, woo woo woo, all the way from Canada, and a cat.
Oh yeah, my cat Bugs is here, and whenever I film, she thinks that I'm talking to her, so I apologize.
No need, it's all good. Alayna is like an OG YouTube friend of mine. We have both been in this game for like over a decade. Internet friends, that whole shebang. Absolutely love it. I thought Alayna would be a great person to get to host an episode of Pleasure Trove. You may know a bit about her story if you've listened to my podcast Doing It. I interviewed her on there. Or if you watch her brilliant YouTube channel where she talks about being gay.
Yeah, late bloomer lesbianism. Welcome.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really excited to see the things that Alayna has to share with you all in this episode. Please be nice, obviously.
Please be nice. Are you afraid they won't be nice? Do they need that
No,
warning?
it's the internet.
Okay, that's fair.
And you're gay.
That's true. Oh, I forgot for a second.
No, but it's my audience and I know that you'll all be absolutely lovely. Alayna, take it away.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. Hi everybody, welcome to this episode of Pleasure Trove. I'm your new host, your temporary host, Alayna Joy. I am so excited to be here right now. Like we said in the intro, Hannah and I have been long-term internet friends. Long-term? Long time. I'm gay. I can only speak in lesbian relationship. We've been longtime friends. I'm excited to be here on her channel, telling you about some of my favorite queer shit. Looking at this list, I feel genuine excitement. I feel like I could vomit. Because I genuinely love all of these things, everything I'm about to talk about, and loving so hard makes me nauseous, apparently. For any of you who don't know me, I am a queer online content creator. I make videos here on YouTube, mostly about queer sex, dating, relationships, and if you want to check out any of my stuff, it'll be linked in the description. Okay, let's get started. Let's start with books. Oh, I have so many books that I wanted to talk about in this, but for time's sake, we're just gonna do a few. We're gonna do a few top picks from the last few years. Let's start with Cantoras by Carolina de Robertis. Sorry. This book rocked my soul. Cantoras, I know I'm not saying it right. Cantoras is fiction. It's a story of a group of queer women in Uruguay in the 70s? Question mark? Yes. When Uruguay was under military rule and homosexuality was illegal. And the story is essentially these women finding each other, finding community, exploring and expressing their queerness through this like beach house that they buy? Beach shack. It's really hard to describe this book without reading it because that's the story, right? The story is being gay is illegal. Obviously, this is a turbulent time in their country. It's an especially turbulent time to be gay. And so they find this little getaway where they return over and over again for 35 years. Oh, I'm getting chills. I'm getting goosebumps. That's the bit that gets me. 35 years. The book follows these characters for 35 years. You get to watch them become who they are. You get to watch them move through phases of life, through relationships. And I bawled. The book ended and I bawled. Okay, I cannot talk that long about every single thing. This is just, it's one of my favorite books of all time. The way that I found this book, I think, also speaks to it. I was in the UK, I was in a queer bookstore. I found like this LGBTQ bookstore. I went into this bookstore, I knew what I was looking for, but the owner was there. And I asked her, what is your top recommended favorite book? if you could pick one book for me to read out of this whole library, what would it be? And this is what she gave me. She said that it's real, it's dark, it's beautiful, and I was like, sold. Cantor S. If you haven't heard of it, if you haven't picked it up, do yourself a favor. Okay, oh my god, I will not talk that long about everything, I promise. The next book, Detransition Baby by Tori Peters. I had heard people talk about this book for a really long time, and I finally got around to reading it this past year, and it didn't disappoint. It was as good as everyone said it was gonna be. It's smart and it's funny, and Detransition Baby is also fiction. The story is two trans characters, and one decides to detransition and then wants to start a family. That's the bare bones explanation of it, but the book at its core, at least for me reading it, it was an exploration of gender, an exploration of femininity, an exploration of what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a woman with desire, a woman wanting to start a family. It's the trans representation that we need and don't see enough of, and it's raw and honest. I would recommend this book to everybody, whether you are queer or not, trans or not. Reading this, I felt like things that I hadn't been able to put into words about my own femininity, about my own womanhood, were explained and explored. Detransition Baby, so good. I hope I did that justice. Oh, Tori Peters, I hope I did you justice. Final book that I'm gonna talk about because Jesus Christ. Three Women by Lisa Taddeo. This is nonfiction. Oh my god, it's just incredible. The author is a journalist, and she followed, I think, like 6 women actually, for almost a decade, consensually of course, and wrote their stories. In the end, these were the only 3 that actually allowed her to print the stories, and the entire book is an exploration of sexuality, of desire, of having your needs met as a woman. Like what it means to be a woman in the world experiencing desire, having sex, and what it means to not only experience desire, but to be desired. One of the women was essentially groomed by one of her teachers and had a sexual relationship with him when she was in high school. We're following her as she goes through like the aftermath of that. Trigger warning, sexual assault. One of the women was assaulted and now is exploring her sexuality through an affair that she's having on her husband. And the third woman explores her sexuality and her desire through like sleeping with other people almost for the entertainment or benefit or like some sort of play with her husband. There's a lot. I recommend this book to everybody. And then 2 honorary mentions because I can't help myself. Women by Chloe Caldwell. This is a little bitty book. It is a ride. The back, there's one thing on the back that I just think sums it up really well. A breathless comet book that commands an evening with your heart and a next day pass along to all the women you treasure. A breathless comet book. That's this. You fly through this thing, you are taken on a ride. Last but not least, I have to mention Untamed by Glennon Doyle. If you are questioning your sexuality, especially like me, where I was in a relationship with a man, realizing that I was gay, Untamed, baby. She's done it. Glennon's done it, she's been there, and she puts it into words in ways that I could never. Those are my books. Next, podcasts. I only have a couple here. Top recommendation, We're Having Gay Sex. Ashley Gavin. You've heard of this, right? Ashley and various co-hosts have different queer guests on each week, and they talk about the gay sex that they've had. A couple of years ago when I was just coming out, this podcast changed my life. It's comedy, it's light, it's explicit, but it's changing the game. There is no other place that I had found that spoke so honestly about queer sex and all the ways that that can look. Hosted by my dear friend Ashley Gavin. I've done a couple of episodes if you want to hear me talk more. And then, hello, of course, I need to talk about my new podcast, Chosen Family. It's actually with Ashley from We're Having Gay Sex. Am I biased? Nah. And Mac Injami. And we are essentially your chosen family. We sit down around the dinner table every week and talk about gay stuff. It's like sitting down with the queer family you might not have, mom, dad, and son, and talking about what it means to be gay in the world. And then honorary mention to my favorite podcast of all time, Let's Go to Court. It's not gay, it's true crime, it's comedy, I listen to it every day. Instagram favorites. So, I use my Instagram for climbing. I like to watch women climb. I like to post myself climbing. But climbing is gay, so I think it's fine. If you're into climbing and you're looking for some accounts to follow, here's 3 of my favorites: Anna Davey, Yanya, and Natalia. These are like professional. Natalia and Yanya are Olympians. Hello. And it's like art watching them climb. And then Bolder and Wiser I'll recommend if you're looking for like climbing comedy. She lives in Germany. She does a lot of she does jokes. She does a lot of like climbing jokes. It's niche, but like if you're into it, there's some recommendations there. Also, I post a lot of climbing on my Instagram. I'm no pro, but it's fun. It's a good time. Television shows. I need to take a deep breath before this one because my love for this show goes so hard. Gentleman Jack. Gentleman Jack. What to say about Gentleman Jack? I love her. We are in love. Gentleman Jack is a queer period drama, comedy, heartwarming, heart-wrenching, powerhouse of a woman, gender-bending, gay-loving, it's just such good TV. The show is fiction, but it's based on the journals, the real-life journals that were found of this woman, Ann Lister. And she was gay when you absolutely couldn't be gay. And possibly gender fluid in some way. We don't really know. Obviously, I don't think they had the language back then to really explore that. Ann Lister essentially lives her life in a masculine role, and while just kind of being like F you to everyone else as much as she safely can. She runs shit. Ann Lister runs shit. And then she meets this woman, and it's like this whole thing. There's 2 seasons. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps again. It's so good. If you haven't seen Gentleman Jack, what are you doing? It's HBO and BBC, I think? Yes, it's HBO and BBC One. Hello, they had a baby, and if you haven't watched it, what are you doing with your life? I have 2 more TV recommendations, and Sex Education is like one of my favorite shows of all time. It has some of the best queer representation I've ever seen on TV. Positive and honest queer representation, and also depictions of such healthy relationships and such healthy masculinity. If I could only recommend one show to somebody, I would recommend Sex Education over Gentleman Jack, just because of the diversity of subjects and the diversity of like representation, beauty, everything you want in a show. But the only reason I didn't put it first is because I feel like everybody knows it, whereas I'm not sure everybody knows Gentleman Jack. So I wanted to like start with Gentleman Jack. But if you haven't seen Sex Education, oh my God, hello. The show centers around Otis and his mom's a sex therapist. Do I want to be with her? Do I want to be her? I want to be her. Someday. And the students at Moordale Secondary School. And it's just so good. It's just so good. Last show I'll talk about briefly is called Feel Good. Feel Good is like a semi-autobiographical show by Mae Martin. Mae is a stand-up comedian. In the show, they're exploring their sexuality, their gender, but mostly like trying to navigate the world while struggling with addiction. They're Canadian, living in the UK, where they meet a woman who formerly identified as straight, but it's like a love story, kind of. This is a show that I watched before I realized that I was gay. I watched it again after I realized, and it really hit different. I have one movie for the film section to recommend to you all. A Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Okay? If you haven't seen this movie yet, this is your sign. This is your sign to watch it. Now, today. This film is French, which I love, and it's just so beautiful. Every shot is gorgeous. It's like watching art. It's a slow burn, a slow build, but the payoff. I bawled so hard during the final scene of this movie every single time I've seen it. This movie takes your heart and rips it out of your chest. If you saw Ammonite or you've heard about Ammonite and you had any feelings about Ammonite, watch A Portrait of a Lady on Fire because they did it right. No offense to anybody who enjoyed Ammonite. I think I ruined that movie for myself because I'd already seen A Portrait of a Lady on Fire like 10 times. Watch it now. Yes. And then last but not least, let's talk about some stuff. I just have a couple random things here. The top physical item that I wanted to recommend to you all is a thumb ring. Are you gay? Are you queer? LGBTQ? Questioning? Are you part of this community? Are you a strong ally? Sure, why not? Get a thumb ring. I feel like it is the easiest way to elevate any look. I'm not a fashion person or expert, and that's why I wear a thumb ring, and I feel like I just love it. I think if you're looking to flag to other queer people, like, hey, I'm one of you, the thumb ring is a very easy, very subtle way to do that, and I would recommend getting one. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention goes back to climbing because climbing is my life. I know that a lot of queer people are searching for community. And like I said, climbing is gay. People don't know it, but it is, okay? It just is. If you're interested in getting into climbing, if you already do climb and you're also looking to meet other queer people, there are so many queer climbing events and meetups that are out there if you look for them. For example, here in Vancouver, there's a climbing group called Bad Climbers. It's like a female and femme climbing group. I know there are queer climbing events like across the US. I'm sure in the UK they would have them too. It's just an idea. Just maybe something that you haven't specifically Googled in your area. So I thought I'd shout it out. And that is it for my recommendations for this episode of Pleasure Trove. I hope that you check some of this stuff out and I hope that you find some gems. All of the things that I talked about excite me so much. I don't know if you can tell. Again, my name's Alayna Joy. I make content across the internet about queer sex and dating and relationships and what it means to find and live a queer identity. I have a YouTube channel that you can check out. My Instagram is mainly climbing if you want to follow me there. And my TikTok is like for funsies. I also am launching a podcast with Ashley Gavin and Mac Injami. It's called Chosen Family because we want to be the queer family that you might not have. Again, that launches tomorrow, so check the description for links to that. That's it from me. I hope that you're all having a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you soon. Bye!